Welcome to the channel, friends. So today's video is going to be me sharing with you my top 3 favorite or most used gloves that I use here in the workshop and the garage, and the ones that I found most durable, most useful, and have served me the best over the past couple decades working on my own stuff. So this is not going to cover cold weather gloves. That's a whole separate category. I have a whole bunch of cold weather gloves I like to use when I'm outside doing firewood, stuff with the excavator, snow shoveling, plowing. You're going to need a set of good cold weather gloves. As you can see, my partial glove assortment here. I have a couple spots here and there in the garage and workshop where I keep gloves. I always keep them nice and easy access. That way I have gloves at hand and ready to go, depending on the situation. I also have some in the shed. I have some in my truck. So I have a bunch of different cubby spots everywhere I go, kind of, where I'm working or if I'm driving. I always have a set of gloves available, which is nice because you want to protect your hands. I know I'm sounding like, I'm lecturing here, but I've worked in the past without gloves, and as I'm getting older, I'm noticing that I really like a set of gloves to protect my hands. I used to power through projects before, getting cuts, grease all up in my hands and really kind of hurting my fingertips and slicing them up. As you get older, you don't want to do that anymore. So I tend to wear gloves now when I really get into anything heavy duty where there's a possibility of damaging my hands, busting my knuckles up, or just slicing my hands in general. But here laid out are my top 3. My general use, nice lightweight nitrile black gloves with a textured grip on both sides. Very important. There's gloves out there that are slippery, like the ones you see in like the medical field, that are very slippery to the touch. Those, once they get wet and sweaty, you're going to lose grip and traction. So as you can see there, these here are the Microflex Midnight. There's ones called Diamond Grip. They're also good. It's very tough now getting any kind of gloves, especially nitrile or latex gloves. But I use the nitrile ones, and I love these because they're nice and lightweight. They're very durable. If you get the thicker ones and the more higher quality gloves, believe it or not, when it comes to nitrile gloves, they actually do last longer. I actually even reuse these sometimes. When I'm done with a project, I'll just take them off and put them in a bin, and I'll use them for the next project. Because these are so durable that they actually last. A lot of the gloves out there, the cheap ones, stuff you get at Harbor Freight, forget it. As soon as you try to do something, they start to puncture, and they're super annoying. And that's the reason why most people don't like wearing gloves, is because they end up breaking, puncturing, or they're just a pain in the butt because they don't have the best grip. But these right here, I find to have great grip, comfortable, allows me to be, have dexterity and do everything I need to do most of the time. So moving along, when I need a little bit more protection and general use glove, these are great right here. These are the MaxiFlex, and these are awesome. They have like a rubber overmold, very, very grippy, very comfortable. It's not a very cumbersome glove. It's a very lightweight glove. This is good for like almost all purposes around the garage and workshop and outside on the shed, doing stuff with the different equipment. I would highly recommend these. If you haven't tried these right here, these are the best gloves. A lot of people that work in manufacturing and in the industry, they use this type of glove. It's great. It prevents cutting of, with sheet metal and stuff like that. If you work with metalworking, these are also great gloves. Super lightweight, comfortable. You still feel very dexterous in them. It doesn't impede your grip or anything. It actually improves it because of the nice rubber overmold throughout the fingers, as you can see. So these are, I would say, my favorite glove of all, because when you need an actual glove and not just a nitrile glove, these are my go-to. These are good for everything. I use these chainsawing, working on the car, if I'm, manhandling exhaust pipes, things like that. These are awesome. Super lightweight, highly recommend them. And then next would be when you have to step up to a little more heavy duty and you need a pair of leather gloves. These are a Wells Lamont, and they're great quality, comfortable, soft on the inside. They don't have, the stitching is not overly intrusive on your fingers. That's something you see with very cheap gloves, especially Harbor Freight. You get the stitching on the inside, which bothers the hell out of your fingers, and then people don't want to wear gloves because they are very uncomfortable. But I can tell you, when you step up and buy a quality pair of gloves, they tend to eliminate that, or they'll put the stitching on the outside. These are very comfortable and very, very supple. You know, they got a little drawstring here, so you can tighten them up. Very durable, soft leather, but these are great for, you know, firewood, any kind of manhandling of metal parts, things like that. But always step up to the higher grade of leather glove. Don't buy the cheap stuff. I've bought the cheap stuff before, and I've had nothing but frustration, because what happens is, I'll show you, here's a cheap set right here. So, I think these are actually Harbor Freights. So what happens is, they tend to be very uncomfortable, and the dye from the leather will actually bleed through and stain your skin if you're dealing with firewood that's wet, or you're in a wet environment. So that's a reason why you don't want cheap leather gloves. They will end up staining your skin, and they're just not comfortable. It is, you know, they're just not worth the lower cost, because you want something that's comfortable and effective. So the whole principle is, if you buy something that's more comfortable, you'll have a more effective glove. You'll want to wear it more often. And that's what I've learned over the years as I'm getting older. Don't buy the cheap stuff. It's never worth it. You're going to get what you pay for, and you're going to be frustrated, and you're just going to take your gloves off and throw them on the ground and say, F it. But my recommendation is, spend the extra money, get some high quality gloves, try them out, you know, buy from different places. These you can get on Amazon, all three of them. I will try to put a link in the description below if you're interested. But out of all three gloves, I would say these are my favorite. These are absolutely my favorite. If it comes down to having the truck glove, you know, gloves for chainsawing, gloves for working on the car, metalworking, handling stock, you know, the uses go on and on. I cannot, you know, speak any greater to these gloves here. They just are my favorite, I would say. But these are the top three that I found most useful, and that I use most often in the garage and workshop and here on the property. But that was the quick video for you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, please place them right down below. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please go ahead and do so. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.